Hey, welcome to the Thing is Infinite podcast. Today we talk about our least favorite Christmas songs. We talk about my broadcasting program, and we share a little bit more information about it. So, just about a professional broadcast in general. If you like this podcast, give us a follow and just give us a rating on iTunes. We really appreciate it. Okay, on to the podcast.
Hey, welcome to the podcast, The Thing is Infinite podcast with Joe
and John.
And we're going to be talking about something a little bit special on this.
Yeah, we're getting close to Christmas time, and right now, by the time we upload this podcast, we'll be in the second week of Christmas season. And what is the thing that's notorious in Christmas season? It is Christmas music on every station, right? Mm-hmm. So Joe and I, last week, reached out to the audience, and Joe reached out on Facebook for the least favorite Christmas songs, the ones that you cringe every time you hear, the ones you immediately turn off if you have the ability to, or the one that when you hear in the store you immediately want to run out of the store, right, Joe?
Yeah.
So Joe, I'll let you lead off. What are your top 3 least favorite Christmas songs?
Just number 3 is Justin Bieber's Christmas song. I couldn't remember what the title was, so I'm sorry about that, but Justin Bieber had this Christmas song, and it was so artificial. Like, I swear, it's like if you put like artificial sweetener in like something, it tastes so artificial and like.
So it was the Diet Coke
tone.
of Christmas songs.
Exactly. Yep. It was very auto-tuned. You can immediately tell that he does not sing like that, and it's auto-tuned 100%.
I'm going to have to pull it up. Now, one of the things that we wanted to do so badly on this podcast is we wanted to actually play clips of songs, but Joe has alerted me that it will give us a copyright strike, and we can get in trouble. Copyright claim, right? And then we can get in trouble. And our little itty-bitty podcast that Justin Bieber will come after us if we actually played it.
Not him. It's record label. Actually, some of the artists don't even approve of it. It's usually the record label that like gets banhammery and just goes absolutely nuts if anyone plays even a second of their copyright.
Now, the other 2 that Joe has, he's kind of giving me inform me of what his other 2 are. They're recognizable, and I think you'll know the song once you get through it. So, Joe, what's your next least favorite?
The next one is probably what was it? Oh yeah, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. That one is just they made like a movie about it. It also sucked, but the song itself isn't much better than the movie. It's basically like about this old lady. You actually feel really bad for her throughout the song. She just gets run over and pummeled by reindeer, which isn't really that fun. One and 2. The song is just terrible. It's just annoying.
Well, you know what, Joe?
It's on my nerves.
You know what, Joe? That song came out probably when I was a little kid. I had to be a child, maybe younger than you for sure right now. So I had to be maybe 8, 7, 9, or whatever, something like that when that song came out. And I remember giggling, but as I got older, I totally see your point. I'm like, this is a really hard song to listen to at this point. And it was something that I enjoyed, and I used to look forward to when I was a little kid, but now I'm like, oh my God, it did not age well at all. And if you want to sing it, right? Can you sing it?
Grandma got run over by a rain. I can't do it.
So now that we've told you the song, we don't want to get it stuck in your head. So Joe will give us his least favorite Christmas song.
I saw one of them that you guys suggested, and I think is really bad. I saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. That one, I feel like, just annoyed me so much when I listened to it. I couldn't even actually listen to the full song. I just left the song immediately after, 2 seconds. But in those 2 seconds, it's very grating. It's like, it plays, very off-key for some reason, and it's just not good. It's not a good song.
Yeah, it is. I could totally see why that would be on your least favorite list. All right, now before I go on to my list, I'm going to read off some of the ones that were on our listener page. So one of them was Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Santa Baby was a one of the least favorite. All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey, and I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. Now, All I Want for Christmas from Mariah Carey is, I think, one of the most polarized songs, meaning a lot of people like it,
and a lot of people hate it,
and a lot of people hate it. So it's one of those songs that, yeah, I can totally see it being a very grating song, because you know what, I think it's so popular, and anytime something gets so popular, it's like, oh, again we got to hear this song. And I even think they made a TV special, a TV movie or something, or animated show.
They did,
which I heard was really bad. Now, my list is somewhat similar to Joe's, okay? So one of them is the same as Joe's, and that is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. And we've already talked about why I can't stand it. You know, it definitely did not age well, in my opinion. It was one of those songs that was cute when I was a little kid, and it made me giggle as a little child, but once I matured, I was like, okay, this guy's voice is really twangy, right? You know, Grandma got run over by her. Yeah, it's just really tough. I'm sorry I sang, but it was a real rough song. And the second least favorite is a song called Dominic the Donkey. I despise that song. I never liked it when I first heard it. Did you ever hear this song, Joe?
What was
Dominic the Donkey?
Never heard that. No.
It's a Christmas song where they actually do hee-haw, like hee-haws, and it's supposed to be like an Italian donkey or something stupid. It is like one of the worst songs out there. I mean, it's a rough song, and you know what? Anytime I hear it, I don't even think I've ever heard it from beginning to end. That's how much I can't stand the song. And I totally wish I could be playing it right now, especially on a podcast. See things that people listen to on the radio. We can listen to a clip of it. But unfortunately, Joe warns me over and over again not to play any clips of songs. Right, Joe?
Yeah.
Now, my number one, Joe, is a song called Do They Know It's Christmas by Band-Aid. Okay, do you ever hear of Band-Aid before? Do you know this song?
No.
Okay. Well, this song came out in the early 80s, okay, Joe?
Okay.
And it was a song that was meant with very good intentions to reach out and raise money for starving children in Africa.
Okay, that's good.
So, it has a good theme, has a good thought process. It had a good intention, right? Now, when this song came out, I remember the first time I heard it was around Christmas time. I was sick. I probably had 101 fever. Okay, so you know, I'm laying in bed. I got my little clock radio next to me, and I'm just listening to music. And I got a burning fever. And then I hear this song for the first time, and they were playing it up so much. Like, this is gonna be the biggest song ever. Had all these stars. It was called Band-Aid, but it was every big star in the 80s, Joe. So every big star in the 80s had one line from the song. So it was like a collaboration of maybe, I don't know, 10 artists or something like that. So now, I'm going to read you some of the lyrics, okay? Because it starts out like a really, not uplifting, but a very, you know, it's Christmas time, there's no need. Yeah, I'm going to let you read it, Joe.
Okay.
All right, so Joe.
It's Christmas time, there's no need to be afraid. At Christmas time, we let in light and we banish shade.
Okay, so now, that is, how do you feel about that line? Okay, it's pretty uplifting, right? Now keep going.
In our world of plenty, we can spread a smile of joy, throw your arms around the world at Christmas time.
Okay, now stop right there. So how do you think about this song right now? It sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now keep going. Let's go to the one line at a time.
Say a prayer, pray for the other ones.
Okay, right there. Still very good message, okay? You're in the Christmas spirit. It feels good. Now keep going.
At Christmas time, it's hard, but when you're having fun, there's a world outside your window, and it's a world of dread and fear.
Okay, stop right there. Joe, have you ever heard a Christmas song with dread and fear in it?
Not really.
All right, keep going. It gets worse.
Where the only water flowing is a bitter sting of tears.
Joe, you want to talk about a record screech? You go into this first line of the song, it feels comfortable, it feels good, and then it goes there. Now keep going, it gets worse.
Okay. And the Christmas bells that ring, there are the clanging chimes of doom.
Clanging chimes of doom, Joe. Joe, how do you feel right now after reading that?
It's very odd, too, because I clearly see they're trying to make, like, a Christmas song, but, like, They're basically like, oh yeah, by the way, they're like trying to guilt trip you with something.
Oh,
like,
it is the
by the
biggest
way,
guilt trip.
Like,
I'm so glad you said that.
There are children starving, so you shouldn't really be having fun right now.
Exactly.
Like, it just seems very odd.
So keep reading. It keeps going.
Okay. And there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. The greatest gift they'll get this year is life.
Okay,
Where
so
nothing ever grows, nor rain, nor rivers flow.
Now, Joe, listen to me. Now, you're a little kid, right? You're hoping to get a train set or a new bicycle and stuff, and then you're hearing the greatest gift they'll get this year is light? You want to talk about a bummer? Life. Okay, I thought it was light when I was a kid. All right, keep going. It's
okay. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Here's to you, raise a glass for everyone. Spare a thought this Yuletide for the deprived. If the table was turned, would you survive? Here's to them underneath that burning sun.
Oh, here you go. So you're toasting at Christmas. Everyone, people toast at the dinner table, and here's to them, sitting in the burning sun.
Yeah. Oh, and I like this line.
Keep going, Joe.
You ain't gotta feel guilt, just selfless. Yeah, after we've guilt tripped you throughout this entire song, you don't really need to feel guilty. Give a little help to the helpless. Okay, I like that line. First time that actually is kind of uplifting rather than trying to bring
bum
you down.
you out.
Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Feed the world, feed the world, feed the world, feed the world. Again, a little bit more uplifting. Feed the world, letting them know it's Christmas time again. Feed the world, let them know it's Christmas time again. Blah blah blah. Feed the world over and over again. Because I didn't want to read all that.
So Joe is a younger, so he did not grow up hearing this song year in and year out. What do you think about this song after reading just the lyrics?
I feel like they tried to do something good. Like, they tried to, be like, okay, well, think of all the other people who aren't as fortunate, which is a good thing. But they just didn't do it well. Like, the execution clearly failed, just based on those lyrics alone.
Well, who puts in a Christmas song dread and fear?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they were trying to help out the needy, so with the context of the time, you kind of understand what they were trying to go for, but they didn't do well at it. Like I said, the execution clearly failed. Where it was supposed to bring you in to try to help others, it clearly didn't go so well.
They raised a lot of money with it, and it was extremely popular, and it's still popular. Joe, when you'll hear the song, I'll play it for Joe after this podcast, so he has some context of the song, and then we can go from there. But that is why it's the most bumming song to me.
Okay.
I want to hear. I personally like uplifting songs, and maybe, Joe, what we'll do next podcast, if you think, maybe we'll go and do our favorite Christmas songs. Do you have any favorites? Because I certainly do.
I have some.
Okay, so what we're going to do next week, so Joe, maybe on your next Facebook post we could say, listen, we talked about our least favorite Christmas songs on this one, and maybe we could talk about our favorite in the next one.
Okay.
Because I have a few that are not on the traditional radar as typical Christmas songs. I do like some Christmas songs.
Okay.
I typically like them a little later in the month rather than the beginning of the month. Some people blast them right after Thanksgiving. What do you think about that, Joe?
I don't know. I don't really mind it, you know what I mean? I don't really mind it as much. Just kind of
Well, that was our wrap-up of our least favorite Christmas songs.
And on to the next... Hey, welcome to our next segment, and we're going to be talking about something that I'm actually in. I'm in a broadcasting program for my school.
Yep, Joe, and this is Joe's first year in doing this, right, Joe?
Yeah, it is.
So tell the audience a little bit about what you're doing currently and what you've done more recently.
Well, first of all, I've been learning about all the elements of broadcasting in my school, and I have been in front of the camera. I'm going to be on camera for a video that's going to be posted within the school. And that's kind of exciting.
So tell me a little bit about that. That's exciting news that you actually got in front of the camera for the first time. Is this the first time you're in front of the camera?
I think so, yeah. It's going to be shown within the walls of the school, and it's going to be the morning announcements for that Friday. They usually do it like every Friday. And
so
yeah,
you
that's
recorded
pretty
it
much
already?
Yeah, we've already recorded it. It's just not going to be out yet.
So let me ask you something. Did you actually read off a teleprompter?
Yeah, I did.
So how was that? How was learning to read off a prompter?
I actually had already done it a little bit before, like during when I first went into the studio that we film in, but this was actually the first time that I've done it, and it was pretty good. I did really well at it, you know.
So tell me a little bit about what you talked about today.
Mainly
that's
about
going to air tomorrow.
Mainly about what we do on what the morning announcements are about, and like, you know, how the freshman class is taking over the morning announcements. So that's mainly what we talked about.
Very good, very good. So, but like, what was your segment? I know this. Joe was telling me that they have this thing called the Freshman Takeover, and I was kind of curious about what did you say? I know all the freshmen, right?
Yeah.
All the freshmen within
I talked about that. You know what it's about and how it works, how I'm in the program, how I got in a bit, you know, those kind of things.
That's outstanding. And so tell us a little bit about what's your favorite part of being in the broadcast club right now?
I feel like my favorite part is really just knowing about broadcasting. I feel like I know so much now, you know what I mean?
So learning the ins and outs of it seems to be.
Pretty much.
Now, is there one thing now you've been behind the scenes, now you've been in front of the camera, so what's your favorite part of it? Like when you go to the broadcast club, okay, and how often do you go?
Well, it's every day, but...
Okay, so every day you're in broadcast club, what part of it is the most exciting to you that you're like, yes, I want to do that? Or if your teacher picked one thing and said, Joe, you have first choice, what would you pick?
Probably, that's difficult. I have many different ambitions. The thing is, I would say, the TriCaster, but that's too complicated for me, I feel like, right now.
What is a TriCaster?
It's like a machine that like kind of goes between different cameras. It's kind of what they use at like sports games and like things like that. So it kind of like switches between the different cameras and the camera angles that are filming.
So that has to be pretty fast paced if you have to be able to adjust the camera.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like buttons too. There's a lot of like controls that you have to know how to operate, because you have to know where each camera is located, how to like switch between the images. They also have like a there's also like a replay machine too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they also have like those. They also have like sportscasters for like the sports games.
So would you do the sports casting?
Probably, if I could learn about some of the sports, yeah. Like I know a lot about football and like soccer, so I might be able to do those.
Now you were telling me in an off podcast conversation that when the TriCast, is that the person that says camera 2, camera 1, camera 2, you're on? Is that the same person?
Yeah. I think it is. Or I think that might be the director. I'm not. I don't entirely. I think it's the director. Yeah, the director is saying that.
Joe was explaining to me that when they're doing a sporting event, especially like let's say a football game, and while the play's happening, there's someone behind the scenes saying, "Okay, camera 1," and then when the play ends, they may go to a more zoomed camera, and they'll say, "Okay, camera 2, you're on." So they're constantly telling the cameraman who's wearing a headset, right, Joe?
Yeah, they are.
So they're wearing a headset. Now they know that they are on the live feed, right?
Yeah, they know that they're going to be the ones broadcasting
at that very
footage
moment.
At that moment. Yeah.
So they know they're off when this. Let's just say they're camera 2, and then they say camera 2, you're on, and then they'll say camera 3, you're on. Now camera 2 can take a little bit of a breather or rest, or right? Is that how pretty much it goes?
Well, they always have to be on camera. They always have to film what they're kind of sent to film, but they can like kind of take a little bit of a breather. Not too much, because they still have to film their specific angle. Each camera is a different angle.
Uh-huh.
So, like, there's one that's, like, a wide shot of everything, like, that's going through across the entire field or whatever. There's, like, another one that's shooting, like, those, like, shots of each player. They have, like, the medium shots of each player. That's being shot by a different camera. There's also one that's kind of like, I don't know if they do this anymore in sports, but I think that for, like, interviews for certain things, they might have a different camera for that, like, on the field. I think they used to do it, but they don't anymore. And then, like, they also have another, I think, I think that might be it.
So now, before we wrap up this segment, I want to, if you can share something, because I found it fascinating when we were talking about some of the things that go behind the scenes and how much there is into broadcasting. Tell the audience something that you didn't know before you did this, that you're like, wow, that is really cool part of a broadcast.
There are many things I actually didn't know. I didn't know that how the cameras kept switching between the positions. I didn't know about the TriCaster. I didn't really even know about the teleprompter. Like, I knew that they had to be, I thought that at first I was like, they're doing this all in their head. That's kind of impressive. And I'm like, no, they have to be reading off something, but I don't know what they're reading off of. And now I kind of like say, okay, well, this the teleprompter. I'm like, oh, that makes sense, because, like, especially in, like, news settings, like news stories, they're not just coming up with it in thin air. They can't really do that. They are reading off the teleprompter, which is telling them what their script is and what they're supposed to say. You get to kind of, like, see how the cameras work. It's kind of like a whole environment there. It's like, completely different. You get to see kind of like the behind the scenes of, obviously professional broadcasting is a bit different just in how, like, complicated it is. There might be more complex, intricate, but they are pretty similar, you know what I mean?
Well, I've seen the studio when you were first previewing it. And,
yeah.
And it looked like a professional studio to me. Yeah. So it was extremely impressive. And I think the thing that impressed me most was actually the teleprompter was pretty cool. When someone's reading off a teleprompter, it must be at the same level as the camera, right? Because people, you don't see their eyes moving down or up. They're looking right at the camera, right?
It's at the same level, yeah. It's at the same level, like eye level, so that they can read off the teleprompter while still looking at the camera.
So now, what if you fumble a little bit on the teleprompter? Can they stop it and then re-record? Like, I know.
Well, it depends on how much they fumble. If they stumble. If they stumble a lot, then they'll call cut. But if they stumble like one or two times, they won't, because they don't want to shoot it again because someone said one word wrong. Like, that would be a bit extreme. But like, if they say many words wrong, or they stumble for like a big word or whatever, then they'll call cut, and they'll just
who usually calls cut? The person who's
the
director,
director, and then the floor manager repeats it.
Okay, so someone's behind the scenes making sure that as long as it's not a live read, that they're actually on point with what they're saying.
Yeah, and also the director for like the live stuff, the sports director also communicates with the sportscaster so that they know what to read and things like that.
So what was you don't have to tell me the names or get in any specifics, but was there any ever really funny moment when someone really fumbled a word, or what's the funniest thing you've seen since you've been there?
There was like one time where this girl, I'm not gonna name her obviously, but there was like this girl, and she was saying like a really complicated word. I can't quite remember what it was, but she fumbled pretty badly, and they had to like call cut, and they were like both laughing about it. They also like that's kind of something. And yeah, I do remember there have been quite a bit of those kind of stumbles.
Yeah, they should have a blooper reel. Like,
I actually suggested that, and they said that was a pretty good idea.
I love that idea. You should gather all the fumbles and all the people laughing and stuff, the stumbling and the fumbling, and put it together as one,
like a blooper.
Yeah. And you know what? just on the just an inside thing that Joseph and I, every once in a while, we'll screw something up and then stop and re-record and stop and record.
Yeah,
maybe we'll start compiling those and put our own little blooper up, and maybe next year a worst of a segment of all the things we've said that went, oops, that didn't come out right.
That would be kind of funny.
Well, we didn't really start that the way we wanted to. Cut, because we do cut every once in a while, not that often, but we've done it a few times. Where the first episode was definitely the best.
Yeah, that was good though.
We started like 4 times, and then we were like, cut. This sounds terrible. Okay. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed this segment. And on to the next one.
Okay. Hey, welcome to the IRL segment.
Yes, we are in the Jeep Cherokee studios, right, Joe? And right now, I just picked up Joe from school, and we just decided to flip the recorder on. And Joe, I just want to say, I watched your appearance on from your broadcast. Joe's broadcast team. They do a Friday announcement, right? They do a few minutes, right, Joe?
Yeah.
And they put it on YouTube for the parents to see, but this message goes out to the entire school. And Joe, you were absolutely fantastic in that video. So tell me all about the feedback. Did you get any feedback from your fellow students, your teachers?
They said that I did really well. A lot of them said, okay, you did really well. You're a natural on camera, which was Mr. Mattis, one of my teachers at MEPM.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you sounded fantastic. And if you don't mind, can I actually play that part?
I guess so.
For the podcast? Okay. So let's see if we can get it queued up, okay?
Okay.
Sorry about that. So Joe, why don't you tell me more about some of the feedback while I get it queued up?
Some more of it was that a bunch of people just said, like, I didn't know you were in the broadcasting program. And then there were some that were like, well, I don't really... there was, like, some that said, oh, well, a lot of them said you did really well, like, those kind of things.
So when you were in the class, you were in what classroom? Your first period?
First period.
First period class when it was played? Now, did everyone look at you? It was like, hey, I know that guy.
Well, yeah, kind of, because I didn't tell anyone about that.
That's fantastic.
I just told you guys.
Without further ado, we'll hear the audio of Joe's appearance today.
Okay. I don't know how to do that.
Hey, I'm Joseph, your host for today. Sid usually hosts this segment, but now I'm in charge. Though I think I should have been in charge from the start because I'm a little better than him. Anyways, let's talk about why I'm here today. Freshman Takeover. Freshman Takeover happens every year, and it's when the Broadcasting 1 class, made up of mainly freshmen, takes over the morning announcements. This is used to help us gain experience and experiment with all the different jobs at B&B. We spent a lot of time learning how to track down and write our news stories, create graphics, operate the equipment, and work as a team to make this episode possible for you all. It's super exciting for us. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Now, you might know that I'm actually not a freshman, but I'm technically in the freshman class. See, I applied for B&B in 8th grade but didn't get in. I applied again in 9th grade and made it. That process was a bit hard, but it was worth it. So even though I'm a sophomore, I am in Broadcasting 1, meaning I'm on this segment. So to all you 9th graders out there, if you're still interested, B&B is now taking applications for next year. Now you know a little more about B&B. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Joe.
Wait.
Now I know what freshman takeover is, but I still don't know what the women pre was.
Can you please...
Stop it. So that was fantastic, Joe.
Yeah.
So, Joe, let me ask you, did you write that script? Or you helped out with it?
Well, I wrote that script, or part of it myself. They did add some stuff, but I did write most of it. Also, I realized I gotta cut this out because I said someone's name. Damn it!
Don't worry about it. You don't have to cut out anything. It's okay. No one knows the last name or anything like that. So yeah, this is as IRL as it can be, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Well, listen, we wanted to, again, thank you for giving the podcast a listen to today. And, Joe, any other things you want to say to the audience?
No, that's it.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a listen to, and we'll
see you next time.
And that's the end of our podcast. We'll see you next Saturday. Sorry this was uploaded on a Sunday. I literally forgot to upload it yesterday. I actually thought it was Saturday today. I can't believe how the days go by. Anyway, see you tomorrow. Bye. See you Saturday. Bye.